Member schools of the Class D Campbell Football Conference, and we value sportsmanship. We ask that you cheer positively for the players, coaches, and officials involved, and enjoy tonight's high school football game. Now let's welcome the visiting Lisbon Greyhounds to Oaks Field.
And welcome in everybody to Oaks Field here at the campus of Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackers alongside Chris Lesnar. It is the Dover Derby, Chris. It is showtime here between the Ponies and the Greyhounds.
Should be a great matchup. We got two teams out here that have combined for 19 state titles. So got the defending champions from Foxcroft, and Lisbon won it in 2019.
Here the starting lineups being introduced right now by our PA announcer Toby Nelson. Lisbon being introduced as a team. Foxcroft Academy going with their individual starters. The Ponies do come in undefeated, 2-0 on the season. A thrilling overtime winner at Winthrop, Monmouth, Halldale, and Hair Care Salon, and all the other teams that are co-opt with that. And of course the blowout win last week against Old Town, so that kind of boosts their stats a little bit here, Chris, because this is a team that now has scored over 100 points, but 74 of them came last week.
Yeah, that's correct, and they're obviously one of the hottest teams in the state, coming in here today, winning 13 straight, longest winning streak in the state.
13 wins in a row, second longest streak continued earlier today with Dexter winning their 8th straight with a convincing win as well. So a lot of good football here in the greater Sebastopol Valley. Is this even considered still part of the Sebastopol Valley, or are we in a different part of the state?
Yeah, and this is a good matchup between two teams that have a rich football history, so this should be exciting here tonight at Oaks Field.
All right, well, we've got the national anthem here, so we'll step aside and we'll come back. We'll have kickoff.
Busy with places to go, things to do, people to see. Let Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union make managing your money easy with mobile services, bill pay, Apple Pay, mobile deposit, and more. We're as close as your phone. Now serving all of Piscataquis, Penobscot, and Somerset counties. Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union. Personal service, shared value. MHFCU.com.
Stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business.
Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best.
This evening, the referee tonight is Doug Ferguson, our umpire.
All right, we are back here at Oaks Field at Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackers alongside Chris Lesnar. The Dover Derby set to get underway here between the Foxcroft Ponies and the Lisbon Greyhounds. We've got the opening coin toss will be taking place on the field in just a moment. Two teams that come in with a combined record of 3-2, with two of those wins coming from Foxcroft Academy. The Greyhounds 1-2, Chris, and it's very possible when we look at their schedule, they could be one of the best 1-5 teams we've ever seen, because they've got the toughest schedule that I've seen for anybody in a very long time.
Yeah, they have to, the next 2 weeks, I believe they play Madomic and York the next 2 weeks after this, so very, very tough schedule for Lisbon, and if anything, this sets them up, with the playoffs, playing a tougher schedule and getting into that postseason. But it's going to be a tough road for Lisbon for sure.
Yeah, and having this matchup in particular against the reigning state champions on the road up here at Foxcroft Academy. But, of course, in the Small 8 Conference, everybody gets into the playoffs. So, again, you take all those experiences throughout the season. They're going to be a dangerous team no matter what, as long as everybody stays healthy. And I think that's maybe one of the focuses, is just making sure you don't lose anybody to a freak injury along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the second straight year that they've come up here to Dover to play the Ponies. Last year they were here week 1, and the Ponies won that game 33-16.
Starting to think maybe the fix is in with the schedule makers. Can we get this game down at Lisbon for once?
Might come to that come postseason.
Well, the opening coin toss will tell us that Foxcroft Academy is going to defer to the second half, so the Ponies will defend to start this game. Lisbon will be moving left to right here to start today's game. You can still say today because it's not November. The sun isn't completely down yet as we kick things off at right around 6:30. Actually going to be well before 6:30 here. What do you think of these 6:30 starts, Chris? Or in this case, probably about 6:27 by the time we actually kick this one off.
I actually like it. A little bit earlier. We all get home. Everybody gets home a little bit earlier.
Yeah, the restaurants are still open when we get out of this game?
Yes, they will be. Yep. And Foxcroft Academy has a big weapon on special teams. Kemsley Marsters, who's their kicker, many times kicks off and gets touchbacks on almost every kickoff. That's a big weapon to have in high school football, even for field goals as well in a tight game. This kid can kick for sure.
Hey, kickoff from the 40-yard line. You're only 60 yards from the end zone. It's becoming less and less of a chore for kickers these days to hit that mark up here in Maine.
Yeah, with the wind going at his back, this one could go out in the parking lot somewhere, Sean.
I parked very, very far away, so my car is safe.
Yeah, he got a touchback on every single one of his kicks last week, so definitely a good weapon to have. You don't see that in high school football.
Yeah, and especially where special teams can be suspect for a lot of teams. You know, the kick coverage is not always the best. You don't have to worry about it. That's a big plus. As Marsters set to send one away here to kick off tonight's game, and it's a low line drive that's headed towards the sideline, but will be fielded at about the 13-yard line. And out of bounds goes Adam Hayes, the junior, with about a 14-yard return, and the Greyhounds will start their first drive at the 26.
Yeah, I guess he squibbed that kick a little bit. Probably heard us talking about him up here, Sean.
It is an open press box up here with just a roof over our heads, so plenty of opportunity for your pearls of wisdom to get out to the field there, Chris. We talk all day about he's got a big boot. He's going to send it to the end zone. Squib kick to the 13. Here goes Lisbon now on their first offensive drive, starting from the 26. And it's going to be just to the left side. And about a 4-yard. No, they're going to give him 2 yards. And a player that, this is high school football, that is fine. It's a player that is not listed on the roster, has a 2-yard gain.
Maybe a number change, possibly.
So Josh Carter getting the word. Of course, it helps when we have a young gentleman from Lisbon right here running video next to us. So 31 in the program is 30 on the field. Carter, who had that first run, and now another few yards. It looked like it might have been Carter again.
Another run for Josh Carter, number 30 for the Lisbon Greyhounds, up to the 33-yard line. Brings a third down about 3 for Lisbon.
So he's got a few there going up the middle. 3rd and 3 coming up from the 33-yard line, Chris, and I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to see out of Lisbon here tonight.
Yeah, with the wind, you never know. This might be a ground battle both ways here tonight at Oaks Field.
Well, a big third down to start things off for the Greyhounds. Fullback dive through the middle, and it looked like he might have got to the 36. He needed to get maybe a little bit past the 36-yard line for a first down, and it's going to come down to the spot, which looks like it is about a football short. 4th down and half a yard to go coming up here for the Greyhounds after the fullback dive. Got them 2.5 when they needed 3. And they're at least going to come out in an I formation, threatening to go for this. They do, in fact, run the QB sneak, and the line certainly got across the line to gain. And it looks like the quarterback got plenty. He did. And a new set of downs for the Greyhounds.
Tackle for the Ponies, and a first down for Lisbon at the 37.
So Lisbon tested early on the road against the reigning state champs and unfazed by a 4th and short situation.
That was a big play for Lisbon to come out and get that first down here early in this game and keep momentum on their side on this first drive.
Jimmy Fitzsimmons, the quarterback, who got the first down on the keeper. He'll bring a man over in motion. 1st and 10 from the 37. It's going to be Josh Carter taken down at the 40-yard line, just a little bit across the 40, and a good 3-yard gain on first down.
Tackled by Caden Crocker, brings up 2nd down and 7 for the Greyhounds from the 40-yard line.
They're getting some good push up front there, Lisbon is here early on. That is a big body kid to tackle down there.
Yeah, that's the senior Josh Carter, who Foxcroft have struggled to take down early on in this game. You wonder if he can keep that going as the game goes on, 20, 30, 40 carries later. Fitzsimmons will call for it again, as he'll send Kanan Cameron off to the side. And it's another handoff through the middle, and it took 2 to bring down Colby Lavasser. A good 5-yard gain. It looked like Devin Henderson was trying to bring him down from behind. He needed a little extra help. Brings up 3rd down and about 1.5 yards here at the 45.
And that Greyhounds offensive line doing a good job here early on. Some big boys down there on the offensive line.
Battle in the trenches being marginally won by Lisbon, but they've got themselves in a good spot here. 3rd and short. Fullback dive again, just as they did last time on 3rd down, and where the officials are lining up and where everybody else seems to be, signals another first down, so they only needed 3 downs to get a new set this time as they get up to the 48-yard line. And again, just that ground and pound style of the Lisbon Greyhounds, pushing Foxcroft deeper and deeper towards their own territory.
First down for Lisbon at the 48-yard line in midfield.
Definitely could be a momentum builder here for Lisbon, and one key thing to this game is they want to try to keep that Foxcroft offense off the field as much as they can.
So 1st and 10 from the 48 as the first 5 minutes have elapsed here in the first quarter. It almost feels like it's gone by in a flash. It is going to be Lavasser outside to the left and across midfield to the opposite 47-yard line, a 5-yard gain. Gives Lisbon another good start to another set of downs. So they go 5 yards on first down this time around. It had been 3 yards the last couple of times out on first. 2nd down and 5 to go from the 47-yard line. We are yet to see a pass attempt, and the way this offensive line is working, why would you? Another handoff through the middle. It's Lavasser again. And he bangs off a body across the first down line into Foxcroft territory at the 40-yard line, and another first down.
At the 40-yard line.
Not only are you getting these first downs, you're also, chewing into that first quarter clock. You've already taken half the first quarter already on this first drive.
We know it's a very potent Foxcroft Academy offense, and you're right. Keep them off the field as much as you possibly can. 6 minutes and almost a half gone by here in the first quarter. Another 1st and 10 from the 40. Lisbon working on their preferred side of the field now, as it's Levasseur eventually dragged down across the 30-yard line. And a 12-yard gain gives Lisbon yet another first down.
Jack Smith in the tackle for the Ponies, a pickup of 12, and a first down for the Greyhounds at the Foxcroft 28.
33 yards already for Levasseur on the ground on this first drive.
That's Levasseur and Josh Carter that have carried the load so far, with a couple fullback dives thrown in there as well for good measure. Lisbon has 4 first downs now on this opening drive. This drive started with a return stemming from the 13-yard line. So another first down play, and finally a loss. This time it's Levasseur grabbed in the backfield and thrown down. And that's the first play that Lisbon's lost any yardage in this opening drive. They lose about a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and 11 just across the 30. But again, Chris, look at this clock, down to 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. This is the first drive of the game. You can imagine there's a quarterback on the near side of the field, or at least on the near side bench, that wants to let this ball air out a little bit, and he's been stuck waiting on the sideline. This time it's a quarterback keeper, Fitzsimmons.
Fitzsimmons with the carry, quarterback.
And he's going to be stopped a little short of the 25-yard line.
Taken down by DJ Shield. Pick up a 4 on the play. 3rd down and 7 coming up for Lisbon from the 25.
Well, let's see if Lisbon ends up keeping it on the ground here, or maybe go a little play action and finally see a passing play this time.
You got to imagine at this point you're in 4-down territory, so another run would not be all that surprising. They spread everybody out to the near side again. And this time it's Levasseur. Just runs into a black hole and gains maybe half a yard. And it's decision time now for the Greyhounds, facing 4th down and what looks like about 6 at the 24-yard line.
Winding down now, under 3 minutes left in the first quarter here. 9-minute drive here for the Lisbon Greyhounds.
Well, the important thing now, no matter how much time comes off this clock for Foxcroft Academy, if they can keep Lisbon to 0 points on this drive, a lot of momentum. First pass attempt of the game for Fitzsimmons is incomplete, overthrown, and that will turn things over on down. So Foxcroft Academy's defense bends but does not break, and they'll take over at the 24-yard line. So now, Chris, we will see Wyatt Rayfield take the field. Played a big part in the overtime winner in week 1. We'll see what his role is here tonight, trying to push the Ponies to 3-0 on the season. His role right now is to hand the ball off, and it's going to be a big one. Ponies' first play of the game could go the distance with only 2 to beat. It is Cameron Chase all the way down to the red zone or the border of it, as Foxcroft Academy waits 9 minutes to get on offense, and on their first play, they get about 45, maybe 48 yards on the very first play.
First down, Foxcroft at the Lisbon 23-yard line.
52 yards.
53 yards for Cameron Chase.
53.
Okay, Toby says 53. I say 52. I trust his math more than I trust mine.
Explosive start for the Ponies on their first offensive play.
They're starting this play at about where Lisbon started that drive, and it ends in 2 plays with a Rayfield toss and catch to Jaden Richard. And Jaden Richard continues his reign of terror in the conference.
2 plays, 76 yards, Ponies on the scoreboard, 6-0 Foxcroft.
2 plays, 76 yards, and after waiting 9 minutes plus to get on offense, that drive lasted all of about 20 seconds, it feels like.
Hensley Marsters in to attempt the extra point drive.
And the kick from Marsters is good. A 7-0 lead for the Foxcroft Academy Ponies. 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. You're watching high school football here on Eastern Maine Sports.
Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing a vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
Welcome back to Oaks Field here at Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackhouse alongside Chris Lessner as the Foxcroft Academy Ponies have started off the Dover Derby with a 7-0 lead. 2 plays, 76 yards. And it's Wyatt Rayfield to Jaden Richard that caps it off after waiting, again, over 9 minutes to get on the field. The offense goes right to work. So they've got the 7-0 lead with 2:20 left here, Chris, and now Marsters will eventually set to kick this off. He'll have somebody holding the ball on the tee, as it seems it won't stay up otherwise.
Jaden Richard picks up where he left off last week with the. He was our Bangor Savings Bank player of the game last week with 2 offensive touchdowns and a defensive interception return for a touchdown as well. So picks up where he left off from last week.
A clean kick away that squibs to the 5-yard line. It's the quarterback, Fitzsimmons, who's the return man. And he will meet a brick wall at the 24-yard line. So the same starting point here for the Greyhounds as their last drive. Slightly longer return, 19-yard return for Fitzsimmons.
At least not for me. I don't see a lot of quarterbacks on kickoff returns.
No.
So that one's an interesting one. Probably one of the better athletes on the Lisbon team.
Lisbon has had some very talented athletes man that quarterback position over the years. You're back to the year where they played MCI in the state championship game, and if I remember right, I think it was Tyler Halls, if I've got the right team and right individual. And if you watched that first half, you would have thought he was going to win the state championship by himself. So the Greyhounds will huddle up again. I'm not sure if a play was run there. The clock's just going to run after the kick return. So 1st and 10. And it is Jaden Camp getting the carry this time. And he's going to get about 5 yards for, looks like 4 yards. So 2nd down and 6 to go from the 28. We see Lavasser run off to the sideline, so he'll be out from this play. You wonder if Lisbon maybe airs it out more as the game goes on. We're down to 1:20 left here in the first quarter. It has been, knock on wood, a very fast-moving first quarter. Greyhounds took a good 9 minutes off the clock with their opening drive, but the drive stalled at the Foxcroft 24. Handoff intended to go through the middle. It was Jaden Camp who got the handoff, and Hunter McSorley who met him very rudely at the 26-yard line.
Brings that 3rd down and 8 for Lisbon from their own 26.
So a loss of a couple there, Chris, and now the Foxcroft defensive line seems to have figured things out here, and Lisbon not enjoying the same success that they had on their first drive.
couple new ball carriers there for the Greyhounds on this drive, and they primarily were relying on Lavasser and Josh Cotter there on that first drive.
Long yardage situation here, and certainly not in go-for-it territory, so third down at about 8 to go. And they will hand it off on the end around to Jordan Cabral. And he didn't get anywhere near the first down mark. Crocker got to him, and that's going to end the first quarter. Again, a very fast-moving first quarter with only 2 pass attempts between the two teams. And when the dust settles at the end of one, it's Foxcroft Academy 7, Lisbon 0. You're watching high school football here on Eastern Maine Sports.
Brothers Meats is a family-owned and operated business located in Guilford, Maine. We operate a local retail meat market along with a slaughterhouse, smokehouse, and processing plants. Herring Brothers has all sorts of meats from already pre-cut all the way to cutting it right on the spot for you. Also, while you're there, don't forget to try their wicked good beef jerky that is made right in Guilford, Maine. Call them at 207-876-4395 or visit them at 346 Water Street Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different...
Welcome back to Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackhouse alongside Chris Lesner after one of the fastest first quarters I can remember ever seeing. It's Foxcroft Academy 7, Lisbon Greyhounds 0. And Lisbon is going to take a timeout as we start the second quarter. They were in punt formation, so we will keep it right here as we get this 30-second timeout for the Greyhounds. Fourth down, about 5 yards. They're sitting at the 29. I can't imagine there'd be anything funky going on here, Chris, but it would certainly be a gutsy call.
Definitely would be, backed up in your own territory. And also letting people know that we will update some scores throughout the night of other action going on. One score that came in already down in Southern Maine, Massabesic is up 21-6 on Marchwood.
Is Andrew posting updates on his site?
He is.
He was slacking. He was slacking last night. I was very interested in the Sacaville Valley Trape game, the lone game Thursday night. He wasn't giving me the updates I wanted. Here we go. Fourth down. It is not a punt. It's Fitzsimmons in punt formation. It was a low snap, and he had trouble corralling it, and he's going to get stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And a big stop for the Ponies. They're going to start a drive at about the 29-yard line after the Greyhounds go for it on fourth. They try the fake punt and come up empty.
It wasn't a lot of daylight over there for Fitzsimmons, and he got nailed right at the line of scrimmage.
Foxcroft Academy will have a
short field for the Ponies.
The Lisbon 29-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can appreciate the gutsy call on the road against what appears to be on paper a top caliber opponent in the league. But just 8 seconds into the second quarter, Foxcroft Academy takes over on downs. And they've only got 29 yards to another 6 points. And it's going to be a handoff to Caden Crocker. Over on the near side, looks like he got about 6 yards there.
Taken down by Jordan Cabral, brings up second down for the Ponies, second and about 4.
And a short field against the Ponies is never anything you really want with this kind of offense. You saw they went 76 yards in 2 plays with their first offensive possession.
Got about 4 yards to go here on second down. And you wonder if, just like on the last drive, if Rayfield will look to the skies again. He will at least keep this himself. Quarterback keeper through the middle. And down to the 17-yard line. More than enough for a first down.
He'll be hit and taken down. First down Ponies at the Lisbon 17 after the carry by Rayfield.
Yeah, one thing about this Ponies team this year and last, It's just you never can key on one guy. They have so many different weapons.
And all, of course, enabled by those big hosses up front. Both teams have been leaning heavily on the offensive line. Now it's Foxcroft Academy's turn. Rayfield in the gun. Motion behind him, but they go near side. Crocker.
Will pick up 3 yards up to the, or 4 yards.
And with all that movement, a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. So another good gain on first down, and Foxcroft Academy keeps marching towards another 6 points.
Something we mentioned too on the broadcast last week is that Rayfield, his confidence is sky high right now. He's been working with former quarterback Austin Seavey and some of the assistant coaches, and his confidence has been at another level.
Yeah, the new quarterback of the Ponies, handing it off to Cameron Chase. Trying to get through bodies inside the 5. It looks like he got to about the 6-yard line before finally being dragged down. And Foxcroft Academy has set themselves up with first and goal, trying to go 2 for 2 on touchdowns.
$60 yards on 2 carries for Chase. That doesn't hurt the average.
No, not one bit. The numbers offensively for Foxcroft do look gaudy on paper, of course. Bloated a little bit last week with the 74-6 win, as this goes
Fumble
with Seavey, and Lisbon says they have it, and they do!
And Lisbon will pick it up on the fumble.
I believe it was Rayfield on the keeper. Ball came out. Lisbon's got it at about the 9-yard line, maybe the 8. It does look like right around the 8-yard line, and what a huge break. Sometimes you have to kind of create your own, and Lisbon did just there.
See if they can continue that momentum and take advantage of this turnover deep in their own territory.
Well, given how their first drive went, it is relevant to mention that they received the opening kickoff as the handoff goes through the middle. It would be a gain of about 2 yards on first down, maybe a yard only. But if they take another 9 minutes off this clock and come away with points, they would be kicking off to start the third quarter. Right now, they've got 8:45 to go. But a lot of green and a lot of white lines separating them from any points.
Tough position here. They just gotta pick up a first down or two. Get out of this end if they can.
Trying to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost, and that's certainly going to help.
Josh Carter.
It was Carter. Looked like he had to hurdle a man. And it worked out perfectly. You got a gain of 17-yard gain up to the 37-yard line, Chris.
Looking good. That run game of Lisbon is looking real good so far tonight. Better on their first possession than their second, but this third one is looking real good so far.
Well, they keep everything bunched up, and, well, everything is jammed up right in the center of the line of scrimmage, and maybe a couple yards.
Carried by number 5, Ethan Roberts. Picks up 2 yards near the 29.
And the clock ticks down here to about 7.5 minutes. And Lisbon very quickly back to the line here at the 28-yard line.
It's number 5, Ethan Roberts, on that last carry for the Greyhounds.
I'm glad you can see who shot it. This time it's very easy to see. It's Carter again. And he gets to about the 35-yard line, maybe a touch short. And another short third down coming up here for the Greyhounds.
Brings up third down and 3 here for the Lisbon Greyhounds.
Greyhounds have been able to move the ball effectively on the ground. Really, the only exception being their second drive. Another toss, and another violent collision right at the first down marker.
Number 30, Josh Carter.
And Carter was the better of the two on that exchange. He's across the first down line, and another first down, and I think Foxcroft Academy is going to take a timeout here, and we will as well. 30-second timeout with Foxcroft leading 7-0 here inside 7 minutes in the second quarter. You're watching high school football on Eastern Maine Sports.
Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing your vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
Welcome back to Oaks Field at Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackhouse alongside Chris Lessner.
And Mark Callanan on the camera.
Yeah, Mark Callanan on the camera. It's his fault if things look like they're downhill a little bit towards the Foxcroft end zone. Certainly felt like play was slanted downhill that way, but the Ponies stall with the fumble by the quarterback Rayfield. Lisbon recovers, and they start their third drive of the game at their own 10-yard line. They've managed to push things up to the 39. Getting close to midfield with 6:48 to go. And Chris, it's just been old school ground and pound football for the Greyhounds.
Foxcroft needed a timeout to recompose themselves a little bit.
Well, they toss back again to Jaden Camp, who weaves through traffic. And he is across the 45 and another couple yards to the 47.
Brings up second down and 2.
Second down, about 2 yards to go as, no surprise, Lisbon continues to move the ball on the ground and chew up some clock here in the first half.
More importantly, keeping Foxcroft's offense off the field, and they've done a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, 7-0 Foxcroft Academy after a 9-minute opening drive from Lisbon that stalled deep in Foxcroft territory. It was 2 plays and 70-some-odd yards that got the Ponies on the scoreboard. Another first down for the Greyhounds.
Carter again.
He is getting his money's worth out of this game. Across midfield to the 46.
Picking up some good yardage here in the first half. He's been mostly their feature back along with Levasseur some on that first drive as well.
This is a game we thought could test the Ponies' defense, and it is being tested, but certainly answering the call here. No gain. I believe it was Carter again. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10 coming up from the 46. Second and 10, it's Carter in motion. He'll take the toss. And a good surge across the 45. And he'll gain an extra few yards. It's so tough to bring him down on first impact.
Ended up with 3 yards on that carry. Hit, though, at the original line of scrimmage, but bounced off for a few more yards, as you said.
Now Carter's been good for a couple extra yards after contact. So too has Jaden Camp. We haven't seen as much of Levasseur.
Not since that first drive, no.
Yeah, he had a strong first drive. He's in motion here, and he's got the carry. Over to the far side. He's going to be short of the first down marker. But another situation where Lisbon might be too close to feel like punting this away. They've just got across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. 4th and 3 here, Chris. Remember they faked a punt on 4th and 5, backed up deep in their own territory as the clock ticks down inside 4 minutes.
Lavasser was right on cue there. As soon as we mentioned his name, he got another carry. So see what Lisbon can do here with a 4th and about 3.
Hey, I've won a few big games in Madden. I know how play calling works occasionally. And they will indeed line up to go for this. We'll see if they try and draw Foxcroft offsides at all. They do not. Fullback. Big refrigerator going right through the middle, and the Greyhounds are going to get a first down out of this. It's Lavasser. Last couple of carries, almost like he's got renewed vigor here. So he's down to the 34, and another timeout.
Foxcroft, yep.
It is another timeout taken by the Ponies. We'll take it as well. 3:22 to go with the Ponies leading 7-0, but Lisbon on the drive. You're watching high school football on Eastern Maine Sports.
Sluggers baseball and softball training offers a variety of classes and leagues to expose you to a wider view of the game. Sluggers leads the way in baseball and softball training with industry-leading technology such as Hit Tracks that combines a traditional batting cage experience with modern analytics, all from the virtual diamond of your favorite ballpark. Check out Sluggers today on Facebook, schedule online, or call 207-951-2250 to start your journey with the best training staff around. Excellence starts at Sluggers.
And welcome back. Otherworldly forces have straightened out the field for us here at Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackos alongside Chris Lesnar. Mark Kalman is those otherworldly forces. We are good to go here now with with exactly 3:22 to go in the first quarter, or first half. And Chris, this has been, other than these couple of timeouts here by Foxcroft, a very quick-moving first half with Lisbon just moving the ball slowly but surely on the ground.
Yeah, and a real competitive first half as well to add to that.
7-0 Ponies lead in jeopardy, but boy, the defensive end not letting Carter get anywhere on that carry.
Back to the 35-yard line.
Lost the yard on that one.
Second down and 11.
Yeah, and only losing a yard because of forward progress. He got stuck almost as soon as he took a couple steps. That's one where you put an X next to that one and maybe revisit that one in the fourth quarter. 2:40 to go now on a running clock. A second down and long. This is getting close to where Lisbon's first drive of the game stalled out. Start with an empty backfield, but it is another handoff on the near side. Can he turn the corner? He can. It's Lavasser. And finally dragged down around the 25, just across the 25. And if he's at the 24-yard line, it looks like another first down. Needed 11. And yeah, I was going to say, from our perspective way up here, it didn't even look close. And he does indeed have another set of downs with 2 minutes and counting remaining here in the second quarter.
This is big for Lisbon because they've done a real nice job with ball control offense so far. And, you know, who knows, maybe later in the game that Foxcroft gets a little gassed and Lisbon takes advantage of that.
I think that's why Coach White was calling the timeouts here in the second quarter. Fitzsimmons going to keep this himself and just getting around to the outside and diving forward. And an excellent run for the Greyhounds quarterback. As we mentioned, just another excellent athlete in the long line of Lisbon QBs over the last decade or two. And this will get inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. Get about second down and 2 to go here with the clock ticking down to just about a minute. Lisbon does have 2 timeouts. And that looked like a busted play, and flags go flying all over the place. So if nothing else, this will stop the clock for a moment as the Greyhounds not on the same page on that particular play.
It's going to be an illegal motion. Legal shift, I believe is what they call it.
Yes.
Legal motion, illegal shift. I've heard it called both ways, college, high school.
Well, I think that's one where, as the referee, you're reporting that as, yeah, that play was mildly illegal, and we're going to do it all over again here. Just over 48 seconds remain in the first half.
I believe that will be a 5-yard penalty, so I believe that will push it back to a second down. And still says second down and 2.
Oh, yeah, so it'll be about second down and 8.
Yeah, 8.
And Lisbon will take their second timeout just to make sure that clock doesn't run immediately. So 48.8 seconds to go. Foxcroft leading 7-0, but getting backed up here in their own territory. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. Want to remind you that our Black Bear Crane halftime show is coming up. Black Bear Crane is a family-owned and operated crane and rigging service provider located in Herman, covering the state of Maine with cranes from 27 to 240 tons. So just barely enough to carry my ego. From roof trusses, HVAC units, steel and precast erection to modular home and communications equipment, call 977-BEAR today. That's 977-BEAR.
Thank you to Anthony Delmonico and the team over at Black Bear Crane for that sponsor.
Out of the timeout, second down and 8 for the Greyhounds from the 22.
Anthony does a great job of photography for us here at Eastern Maine Sports.
He does everything.
He does.
Really is the GOAT. Back at the 22. And it's going to be Fitzsimmons on the keeper. And he's dragged down out of bounds. He will get forward progress out of bounds. That'll stop the clock just inside 43 seconds, but a long third down play coming up here for the Greyhounds. Looks like third down and maybe 7.5, 8 yards. Remember, only 1 timeout for Lisbon remaining. So they'll have third down. Looks like no gain on that play. So third down from the 22. Remember the first drive. Got all the way down to the 24-yard line before stalling out. And then Foxcroft went the other way on 2 plays. They'll have a timeout remaining for what it's worth. As it goes to Lavasser, he's hit well in the backfield and then dragged down. And now Lisbon will have time for probably one more play on 4th down and maybe a look to the end zone as the clock continues to roll. Big time penetration from the Foxcroft D-line and nowhere to go for Colby Lavasser.
I think Lisbon might just decide to run this clock out. Foxcroft's not calling a timeout. And
well, I mean, You've got 1 timeout. You can't take it with you.
Surely let this run out.
Surely you take 1 shot, and they do call the timeout with 2.7 left. I'm like, in a 7-0 game, you know you're kicking off to start the second half. There's no way they're going to let this run out.
They're going to probably take 1 shot to the end zone here, would be my guess.
Yeah, and a lot of athletes in the defensive backfield for Foxcroft Academy.
Yeah, what
So
you
it's
don't
gonna be
want to
tricky.
do. Yeah, what you don't want to do is have that return for a pick 6 here at the end of the half.
Yeah. I have a feeling something's going to go to the back of the end zone and let the chips fall where they may. I don't think there will be anything that will be remotely returnable in that case, but we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a toss, certainly, from you're going to be looking at 30-plus yards out.
Yeah, ball's resting at the 27, so yeah.
And that mean, ugly Foxcroft D-line ready to go after the quarterback, I'm sure.
Yeah, and definitely a ball control type offense for Lisbon and Foxcroft in the first half. Is both quarterbacks have only attempted 1 pass each. So haven't seen a lot of passing out here tonight so far. We're going to see one here, I think.
Yeah. Not much of a betting man, but you can bet the farm. Surely. Only 2.7 left. Fitzsimmons will indeed throw it with play action. It's short of the end zone and not enough to get in. I believe it was Kenan Cameron who had the catch, but he was well short of the end zone. He caught it, tried to scamper in, and he's met by the Foxcroft defense, and that is how the first half ends. It was a very competitive first half, and yes, 2 9-minute drives from the Lisbon Greyhounds unfortunately still yield no points. Foxcroft 7, Lisbon Greyhounds 0. We'll be back with the Black Bear Crane halftime show here on Eastern Maine Sports.
And stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business.
Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best. Sluggers Baseball and Softball Training offers a variety of classes and leagues to expose you to a wider view of the game. Sluggers leads the way in baseball and softball training with industry-leading technology such as Hit Tracks that combines a traditional batting cage experience with modern analytics, all from the virtual diamond of your favorite ballpark. Check out Sluggers today on Facebook, schedule online, or call 207-951-2250 to start your journey with the best training staff around. Excellence starts at Sluggers.
Welcome back to Oaks Field here at the campus of Foxcroft Academy as the Ponies have a 7-0 lead at halftime in the Dover Derby over the Lisbon Greyhounds. And I'm joined now by Toby Nelson, the voice of the Ponies, the PA announcer you've probably heard in the background here because he's had his sound system up to about 13 here at Oaks Field. Toby, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad, Sean. Glad to have you guys here, and good to see you once again here for some Friday night football.
Yeah, it's always great to be here. It's just a fantastic facility. Touted on your school's website as one of the best natural grass fields in really the entire state, but certainly in the Central Maine area. And every time we come here, it's an electric environment. The band, just the backdrop as well. It is a fantastic place to catch a game indoors and outdoors here at Foxcroft.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We've, the grounds here at Foxcroft Academy, when you come up on Route 15, we do our best to keep them in pristine shape. And, of course, this summer was a little bit tougher. It was so dry, but over the past few days, the rain has kicked in and helped green some stuff up here as we get into the fall. But between Oaks Field, between our soccer field, which is greened in very nicely as well, field hockey field's in great shape, and then, of course, we have our field house, which we've been showing off quite a bit over the last couple of months. So, we're fortunate to have what we have here, and we love having fans come up and getting a chance to play here on the field because we like to showcase it on Fridays.
Yeah, just big things have been happening really at Foxcroft Academy for at least the last decade. You've been a part of this entire surge, really, of renovations and improvements. I mean, this has gone from kind of just another school in the area to a premier destination, it feels like.
Yeah, that's kind of what we feel. Obviously the main school building that we have was built here in 1952, but since then we've had so many additions, and really in the last 20 years, the physical plant of the campus has blown up with the dormitories behind us, a couple new classroom buildings, the ice arena, the field house has been built, and then, we've done a lot of renovations on the inside too, our locker room areas, and some new classroom spaces down in the basement area. So, yeah, we do. We have a nice facility. We try to do the best that we can to educate the area youth, and we got a good crew here as we enter the 2022-23 school year.
Yeah, you talk about that great crew as well. I mean, there's something to be said for doing things the right way, and you've got the right people in place and have been for the past several years. You got Danny White leading a very successful football program. You've had Luis Ayala with the wrestling program. I mean, you guys have had some big-name coaches come through these doors and stay for a very long time.
Yeah, Coach White's in his 14th season coaching football at FA, and of course graduated from here back in 2003.
Coach Ayala actually just retired last year from teaching and also from coaching as well, but after a really storied career for him, coaching both wrestling and soccer here at Foxcroft Academy. So they've done a great job building programs. Our field hockey program has had a great tradition as well. Track and field, some of those are programs as well here at FA. So we're proud of them. We have some great student athletes, kids that work hard in the classroom, because that's what you are. You're a student athlete, right? But they work hard in the classroom and work hard in the courts, fields, and pools in the area.
Now, there's one very important question here. Y'all won a state championship in football last year. Do you have a ring for this? Have they presented you with a state champion ring?
To be honest, yes, I do.
All right.
I got a state championship ring. Coach White has really, really treated me well over the years. Between everything that we do, we take care of, behind-the-scenes stuff that I take care of. We make sure the film's all taken care of for him. All the statistics are taken care of, and it's one less thing that he and his coaching staff have to worry about, and I have a heck of a lot of fun doing it. So, we've done that for the last 7 years since I've been here, and when they won the state championship, nothing that I expected, but when they got the rings in, he came in my office, closed the door, and handed me one. So I thought that was really, really cool. And let me just say, they are big.
Yeah, I was going to say, so athletic directors around the state, remember, when y'all win a state championship, take care of your announcers too.
That's
Sincerely,
right.
a fellow announcer.
That's exactly right.
We got a heck of a game going here. So we're going to let you go in a moment here, Toby, but a heck of a game here, 7-0. Is this about what you expected with Lisbon coming up here?
Expected a really close game, but I heard you say the ground and pound of what Lisbon is doing. They probably had the ball 20 minutes of that first half.
That's what it felt like.
They kept it on the ground, moved the chains well. They just couldn't get in the end zone. And the unfortunate fumble for us, where it looked like we were going to go and score another touchdown. So this is anybody's ball game right now. Lisbon's a quality team. They're well coached. I've got a chance to talk to Coach Chris Cates quite a bit during the Lobster Bowl this year. Because we had the training camps up here at FA, and he was the coach of the Western squad. I think the world of him. Does a great job. He did a great job this summer, and does a really, really nice job with this Lisbon program. So this is kind of what we expected, I guess.
Well, that is the GOAT, Toby Nelson, joining us here at halftime here on our Black Bear Crane halftime show. Toby, thank you for joining us here, and we'll let you get back to work.
Appreciate it, Sean. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take it easy. So we will take a break, and we'll step aside, and we come back more of the Black Bear Crane halftime show right here on Eastern Maine Sports.
Sluggers baseball and softball training offers a variety of classes and leagues to expose you to a wider view of the game. Sluggers leads the way in baseball and softball training with industry-leading technology such as Hit Tracks that combines a traditional batting cage experience with modern analytics, all from the virtual diamond of your favorite ballpark. Check out Sluggers today on Facebook, schedule online, or call 207-951-2250 to start your journey with the best training staff around. Excellence starts at Sluggers.
And stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business.
Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best.
Welcome back to Oaksfield on the campus of Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackhouse alongside Chris Lesnar here at halftime with Foxcroft Academy leading Lisbon 7-0. This is the Black Bear Crane halftime show, and our game here this evening is brought to you in part by Black Bear Crane, one of our fantastic sponsors here with Eastern Maine Sports, allowing us to get these broadcasts on the air. They're a family-owned and operated crane and rigging service provider in Herman, covering the entire state of Maine with cranes from 27 to 240 tons. They got roof trusses, HVAC units, steel and precast erection to modular home and communications equipment. Call Black Bear Crane at 977-BEAR today. And Sluggers offers a variety of classes and leagues to help expose you to a wider view of the game. The focus is to bring out the best in your game and expose you to the next level of play. Whether in a clinic or in private lessons, your slugger will receive valuable instruction for every phase of their game. Get the best training at the lowest cost in the shortest time. Visit Sluggers Baseball and Softball Training Facility at 60 Acme Road in Brewer, or give them a call at 951-2250 for more details. So, Chris, that's a lot of paying the bills. There are some other games going on across the state here.
Yeah, we got started a little bit early here tonight at Foxcroft, so not many games got going at the same time we did.
Yeah, not many games are even close to halftime because that first half went by so fast.
It did. One score at the half, Massabesic is on top of Marshall with 13-6, and just got started in Bucksport, and both teams scored on their first offensive possession, and Bucksport leads Orono early, 8-6.
I have a feeling that's going to be a highly competitive game as well, as we still try and kind of learn what Bucksport and Orono are made of in their respective division, and kind of learn a lot about a lot of teams across the state. I think we're learning a little bit about Foxcroft and Lisbon here tonight. You got a Foxcroft team that, yes, they come in with a lot of gaudy offensive numbers, but again, a lot of that kind of bloated by their win last week. I think maybe more of what we can expect is what we saw in week 1 with their overtime win, hanging on by just a single point with a goal line stand against Winthrop, Monmouth, and Halldale. And then for Lisbon, a team that is trying to generate their own momentum, they dropped their first couple of games to a couple of Class C schools, and then they beat Oak Hill 48-6 last week before coming in here. And we were talking about their strength of schedule very briefly in pregame, Chris. And, I mean, just get a load of this. Their opponents include, if you, let's say you take out Oak Hill, just for the sake of making my point here, their opponents up to this point have a combined record of 12-2. And you've got another, 12-2 if you consider their next two opponents coming up here in
Madomic and York.
Madomic and York, yes. Yep. I have their schedule. Yep. I promise. Don't worry. I did my homework. But yeah, they got at Madomic, they host York, and then they finally get their bye week, which Foxcroft had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing they did really well that first half, as I keep harping on, is ball control. They probably had the ball for about 20 minutes that first half. They ran 35 offensive plays to just 7 for Foxcroft.
Yeah, well, those 7 plays yielded 7 points. It was really the first 2 plays for Foxcroft Academy that yielded those 7 points. That opening 9-minute drive from Lisbon, stalling at around the 24-yard line, and then a 53-yard run, and then another 24-yard pitch and catch to Jaden Richard. And that is all Foxcroft Academy needed to get into the end zone. The Marsters extra point was good. And that's the only strike in this first half, even though Lisbon threatened. Again, with another 9-minute drive at the end of the half, they will kick off to start the second half. And I have to imagine, getting to start out on defense, you get some of their legs, just a bit of an extra rest to start the second half. They're going to come right back out and just try and grind down the Foxcroft defense.
Yeah, and they've done a good job with the run game as well. The combination of Lavasser and Carter in the first half, 98 yards between those two backs. Foxcroft had just 93 total yards. So Lisbon's done a good job with ball control and in the run game. They need a lot more of that here in the second half.
Well, with the crowd filing back in from the concession stand and the teams getting their way back onto the field, we'll take one more break here in our Black Bear Crane halftime show. It is Foxcroft 7, Lisbon nothing. Second half coming your way next with high school football on Eastern Maine Sports.
Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing a vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine. Brothers Meats is a family-owned and operated business located in Guilford, Maine. We operate a local retail meat market along with a slaughterhouse, smokehouse, and processing plants. Herring Brothers has all sorts of meats from already pre-cut all the way to cutting it right on the spot for you. Also, while you're there, don't forget to try their wicked good beef jerky that is made right in Guilford, Maine. Call them at 207-876-4395 or visit them at 346 Water Street Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Sluggers Baseball and Softball Training offers a variety of classes and leagues to expose you to a wider view of the game. Sluggers leads the way in baseball and softball training with industry-leading technology such as Hit Tracks that combines a traditional batting cage experience with modern analytics, all from the virtual diamond of your favorite ballpark. Check out Sluggers today on Facebook, schedule online, or call 207-951-2250 to start your journey with the best training staff around. Excellence starts at Sluggers.
And stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business. Brothers Meats is a family-owned and operated business located in Guilford, Maine. We operate a local retail meat market along with a slaughterhouse, smokehouse, and processing plants. Herring Brothers has all sorts of meats from already pre-cut all the way to cutting it right on the spot for you. Also, while you're there, don't forget to try their wicked good beef jerky that is made right in Guilford, Maine. Call them at 207-876-4395 or visit them at 346 Water Street Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. To Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing your vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
And welcome back to Oaks Field at Foxcroft Academy. Second half action about to kick off here between Lisbon and Foxcroft as the Ponies hold a 7-0 lead going into the third quarter, and the opening kickoff from Lisbon, their first kick of the game, goes out of bounds about the 25-yard line, so there'll be a flag there for legal procedure. And
Ponies will get at the 35.
Yep. So the Ponies will get their second best field position to start a drive. They started one at their own 24-yard line. They started one at Lisbon's 24-yard line, or rather 29. Now they'll start this one from their own 35. This is only Foxcroft Academy's third possession of the game, where Lisbon dominated time of possession in the first half. We'll see what Foxcroft Academy and Wyatt Rayfield can do. Can they cash in on this drive? 65 yards out from their own end zone. They will start it off with a handoff that's going absolutely nowhere. The Lisbon defense was ready for a first down run. I don't think it mattered what Foxcroft ran on first down. Lisbon Greyhounds were up to the task, and it's a loss of 4 yards on the first play of the second half.
Is that Rayfield on the carry for the Ponies?
No, it was a handoff, and
Crocker, I believe, maybe?
That's a pretty good guess.
Yep.
So a loss of 4 on that play. Second down and 14 from the 31-yard line.
Tough first play there for the Ponies. Oh.
And, well, everybody went. And flags are going to be against everybody.
Here against Foxcroft Academy, it's a 5-yard penalty.
And the official starting to walk towards the Lisbon defense, and
5-yard penalty against Foxcroft Academy makes it a second down, about 19 to go for the Ponies.
Restart the clock without even having the ball set, but they'll get it down to the 26-yard line after that 5-yard penalty. The penalty does go against Foxcroft. This one we call false start, everybody but the center.
Second and 19 here.
Ponies back to the 26-yard line. A lot of field to work with, so Rayfield will go to the air. Looking down the middle, and it's picked off!
By Lisbon. Greyhounds will pick it off at the 40.
Looked like Emmett Mooney, the junior. Pass was intended for, I want to say Marsters. It was, and it was Mooney who got right in position to pick it off. And so only Rayfield's second pass attempt of the game is his second turnover. And the Greyhounds take over at the 48-yard line.
Pass was intercepted by Emmett Mooney.
There are a lot of white jerseys. They look like about 3 surrounding Marsters there. So Lisbon creates another turnover. Can they cash in this time? Low snap. Hand it off to Carter. And he's across the 45. Deeper into Foxcroft territory.
Up to the 43-yard line. Tackled by DJ Shields. A pickup of 5 on the play. Brings up second down and 5 for Lisbon.
Well, this was probably worst case scenario for the Ponies here, Chris, because we've seen how Lisbon can move the football. They've had drives of about 50, 60 yards, stopped just short of the end zone. Now they have to go less than 50 to get pay dirt and get some points on the board. In a one-score game, it is Carter on the carry, and the senior rumbles ahead across the 40 to within a yard of another first down, depending on the spot.
Carries it to the 44-yard line, just shy of a first down, third down and 1.
Maybe third down at about a yard from the 39-yard line. Got to get to the 38 here. This Greyhound offense has proven time and again they need a yard, and they can get you 3. They need 10 yards, they could get you 3. Fullback through the middle. Enough for a first down and plenty more.
And we'll get them a first down up at the 33-yard line.
You couldn't tell if maybe they went to Levasseur on that carry. Regardless of who they went to, the Greyhounds have another first down. They needed 1 and got about 6 or 7. First and 10 now from the 33.
And they are moving the ball, but still failed to find the end zone so far.
The wide receivers, really on either side, have just kind of been paperweights on the field as another carry intended to go up the middle is stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
A couple-yard loss brings up second down and 12.
Loss of 2 pushes the Greyhounds back to the 35 with a good surge from the Pony defense.
What do you think, Mr. Guthrie?
If I can unhook that for just a second, I might be able to make it sound better. It'll be quieter, but it might work better.
Bangor Rams are up early over the one of the top teams in Class B North, Skowhegan. Very early, 7-0 Rams in Bangor tonight.
Well, the Rams have struggled to start their season, and Skowhegan has been working with a backup quarterback. Out to a strong start. As this is a carry by Jordan Cabral around the outside and towards the first down marker. And it looks like just enough for a new set of downs. We'll see where the spot is. The chains are already moving. So another first down for the Greyhounds. Needed 12 and got about 13 or 14.
Carried by Jordan Cabral. Will be tackled by Devin Henderson. First down Greyhounds at the 22-yard line. 22-yard line.
So first and 10 from the 22. Lisbon has been here twice before. Is the third time a charm. Handoff near side. Had a lead blocker, but had to cut up field.
Jordan Cabral on the carry. He'll be tackled by
And it's Cabral down near the sideline. Clock will continue to roll. Down to about the 14-yard line, so they gain 8, need 2 more for another first down. They need 14 more for a shot at tying or taking the lead here.
Second down and 2 coming up for Lisbon.
Couple solid runs there by the senior Cabral on those last 2 carries.
Well, they're doing a great job of mixing up where they're running the football to. Left, right, and center. Ultimately moving forward. 2 yards from a first. And it is Lavasser.
Carries for the Greyhounds.
Got a few here. Yeah, he's got the first down. 3-yard gain just across the 12. And the clock will stop only temporarily as it begins to tick again down towards the 6-minute mark of the third quarter for a team that has already had the ball for what feels like at least 24 minutes of this game. Toss now. And it's Carter.
Up to about the 7-yard line.
Gain of 5 or 6 yards inside the 10. They can get a first down without scoring here, Chris, but this is as close as the Greyhounds have been tonight.
Yeah, they're going to give them about 4 yards on that last carry for Carter. Make it second down and 6, ball to 7. So, yeah, they need to get to the one.
Yeah, it looks like they need to get to just short of the 1-yard line for a first down as Fitzsimmons goes under center again. And it's Lavasser to his right. Falling forward across the 5-yard line down to the 4.
Set up about 3rd and 3, I believe.
Brings up a third down.
Inside 5 minutes now in the third quarter.
Going to call this closer to 3rd and 2, I guess. Long 2.
And third down, about 2 to go, just barely inside the 4-yard line.
Let's see what the Greyhounds can scheme up on this play. Again, you said they've been doing a good job with their scheme runs, running to different sides.
Well, they got Lavasser in the backfield this time, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage, and one more surge from the defense. He's going to get maybe half a yard to about the 3-yard line, and now it is gut check time for the Greyhounds again, with another drive threatening to stall oh so close to the goal line here. Now they're down to the 3, facing 4th down and a yard and a half, it looks like.
Boy, they've done such a good job in the run game, but boy, a play-action pass or something like that would maybe surprise the defense here, but I doubt we see it.
There was no motion there. There was no way anybody thought the ball was going to anybody other than Lavasser. It's just who's tougher than who. Toss goes this time. Carter dives into the end zone, and Lisbon's got their first score of the night.
Touchdown Greyhounds.
The senior Josh Carter getting the toss, right side, 7-6 with 3:49 to go. And this will be the longest the clock has stopped with Lisbon in control of the football after the score.
Greyhounds will go for a 2-point conversion.
They're going to try the 2-point here conversion to try to take the lead now.
Throw back to overtime in week 1 for the Ponies. Man in motion, and the toss is fumbled. Carter couldn't hold on to it. And officially a goal line stand keeps the Ponies in front by a single point. 7-6 inside 4 minutes ago in the third quarter. We'll come back with the next kickoff. You're watching high school football on Eastern Maine Sport.
Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best.
Welcome back inside the press box at Oaks Field at Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackhouse alongside Chris Lessner with Eastern Maine Sports. Mark Callinan shaking the earth and keeping things relatively steady here on the camera with 3:49 to go here in the third quarter. Ponies lead the Greyhounds 7-6. And Chris Lesnar, another long drive for the Greyhounds. They do punch one into the end zone, but the 2-point conversion comes up empty.
Yeah, good job there by Lisbon. And that kick's going to go out of bounds again.
Well, now they'll get it just a hair across the 35 as that went out at the 36. So, I mean, hey, it's tough to argue with that kind of approach on special teams. You cannot give up a kick return touchdown if there's never a kick return. And with that in mind, Foxcroft, I think, is going to opt to have the Greyhounds re-kick.
Penalty for the kick going out of bounds. Lisbon will re-kick from the 35-yard line.
So this strategy worked one time.
Yeah, going to have to re-kick now, and having trouble keeping the ball in bounds with the kickoff the last 2 times here for Lisbon.
Yeah, plan worked once, and now Coach White wants him to re-kick. See what happens with this one. This one will maybe stay between the lines. Dangerously close and out of bounds again. Well, you can opt to just keep having them re-kick until they keep one inside the paint.
That's what they're going to do.
I mean, yeah, at this point, you have to.
Another kickoff, this one back at the 30-yard line.
Because now you backed them up 10 yards. 2 penalties.
All right, so you know what? You know how like Manny Ramirez used to like set up pitchers? I think this is one where Lisbon's kicker here is setting up Foxcroft. I think this would be a low line drive right at the first guy in line here. And that's where you get him. They start to turn, goes off somebody's shoulder.
It would be a perfect play for an onside kick. Yes, definitely. As you see those blockers up close now.
This time it's just almost a little pooch kick, and very smartly done here. Chase will just catch this, go right down to ground, and Ponies will get great field position to start this drive. They're just behind the 50.
Yeah, and they've only run 2 plays so far in the second half, and we're already over 8 minutes into the third quarter. Ran a run for a loss of 4, and then the interception by Rayfield that ended up costing them points as Lisbon went down and got that touchdown.
Next Friday we go from football to football. About 6:50 p.m. kickoff time for broadcast start time between Skank and Stearns at PCHS Boys Soccer. We'll get you the rest of the upcoming schedule in a moment as the toss goes to Marsters here, and Foxcroft begins their second possession of the third quarter with about an 8-yard gain. The other side of that weekend, it's Greenville at PCHS Boys Soccer. Broadcast starts at 6:20 there. A lot of night games with soccer in this area. And you know what? I'm a fan. Band day games. You had Old Town and Foxcroft Field Hockey at just before 6 o'clock on Wednesday, October 5th. And then October 7th, Hamden, right back here at Foxcroft. 6:50 start time on the broadcast. Second down and 2. And a fumble that has been recovered by Lisbon. Foxcroft has coughed it up for the 3rd time, and the Greyhounds will take over down 1 after only giving up ultimately 5 yards from where Foxcroft started the drive. And a helmet goes flying on the Foxcroft bench. Rayfield understandably frustrated. It's his second fumble, 3rd turnover for the Ponies. And as you might have heard from our halftime guest, Toby Nelson, 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And who knows how much time Lisbon will take off the clock this time around, as the toss will go to Jaden Camp. And he won't get much on that carry. McSorley with the stop, maybe just a hair behind the line of scrimmage. the saving grace on these turnovers. There have been no returns on them. So you're not worried about a massive momentum swing, but it is still pretty big. Toss to Carter. And he'll go around the end to the right side. And he stopped just across midfield. It was Silas Topolsky who made the tackle, and he came up holding his shoulder because he took a shot to hang in there and make that tackle. He's still trying to get the pain out of his arm there.
Going back and forth down at Bucksport tonight, and Bucks have a 14-9 lead currently over the Red Riots.
14-9.
Yep, field goal actually.
All right. There's some kickers in 8-man. Rumbling ahead now across the 45. And Carter is near the first down mark. Looks short from where some of the refs are standing, and, well, the others, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I think he got 2 yards.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yep.
They're starting to.
Yard and a half.
Yeah, they're setting the chains down, and yes, he did have the first down. I think maybe Coach White getting the explanation that, yeah, no, we're from the near side official. No, where I'm standing, it wasn't the first, but where they spotted the ball, yes. So, down to the 43, a new set of downs for the Greyhounds. It's Lavasser in the backfield. And Lavasser with an army charging forward and still dragging a host of ponies across the 30-yard line.
It's going to be about a 13-yard gain there for Lavasser.
Well, if you love the sport of football before that blasted forward pass came into play, then you are loving this. The Lisbon Greyhounds continue to march down the field inside the 30 as the clock ticks down, inside 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and the Greyhounds only down 1. They have kept a high-octane offense off the field, literally. Toss to Carter. And he will fall forward across the 25 for what will surely be the last play of the third quarter. The Greyhounds are marching. The Dover Derby about to reach the final act. 7-6, Ponies in front, but getting backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost. When we come back, the fourth quarter, you're watching high school football on Eastern Maine Sports.
To Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing a vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
Well, we hope you're having as much fun at home or wherever you may be as we are, bringing you the action here at Oaks Field at Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackers alongside Chris Lessner with Eastern Maine Sports. And the Foxcroft Academy Ponies have a 7-6 lead, Chris, but that lead is looking less and less safe with every massive chunk of yardage gained by the Lisbon Greyhounds.
Tell you what, they had a game plan in here and coming in here tonight, and they have certainly executed it to this point, except for the scoreboard right now, down by a point. But, man, if they run the ball well, now they run it hard all night.
Yeah, there has been no secret. There's no puzzle to solve. It's just stop us if you can. And the Foxcroft defense has had mixed results. McSorley has been a force for the Ponies, but so too has been Carter for Lisbon, and it's Josh Carter again, wearing 30 tonight and getting across the 25. There's a flag down.
It was thrown in the area of...
is on Lisbon. It's a hold.
Yep, I was just going to say, it was thrown in the area of holding.
That's probably the most damaging penalty of the night. There have only been 3 flags in this game. One, the false start against Foxcroft Academy. You had that broken play that resulted in an illegal shift penalty against Lisbon earlier. And now this holding penalty that's going to move the football back to the 35.
You did have the 2 kickoff infractions against Lisbon.
Well, yes.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, special teams penalties aren't real penalties.
Okay.
We give them a break.
We'll go with that.
That's strategy at that point. It's Carter. Similar play, and he tried to reach ahead to the 20, and almost like he got dragged back a little bit and prevented from breaching that line. He's ruled down at the 22. Or rather, I can't count the 27.
27,
He was trying to reach the 25. So he's past the original line of scrimmage. And another long third down coming up here, 3rd and 8. And now this is where the clock really becomes relevant. Down a point. Certainly in 4-down territory. And the clock ticking down inside 11 minutes by the time they get this snap away. Carter in motion. And he'll run it through the middle. Not nearly enough for a first down. But maybe enough to make it manageable here for the Greyhounds. He left them 4 yards short. And the biggest defensive play of the game coming up for the Ponies for sure here, as the Greyhounds face 4th down and 4 to go with 10.5 and counting.
Another score that came in the second quarter from our friend Andrew Hart from Maine High School football. Big game in Southern Maine. Cape Elizabeth was leading South Portland 20-0 in the second quarter.
Will it be Carter or Levasseur? Oh, the whole line moved, and a manageable 4th down just became that much tougher. The entire right side of the line got a little antsy.
Definitely wanted to let people know about that on Facebook. Andrew Hardy does a great job with Maine High School football. If you get a chance to check that out, please do.
And make sure you check out Maine High School football and not the couple other scam sites that have popped up on Facebook. Everybody's favorite. Yeah, everybody's favorite thing. Just you see a whole bunch of weird links. Don't click them.
He does a great job with that. He's very knowledgeable.
No risky clicks here. Here we go. 4th down and 9. And it's Fitzsimmons who's going to cut upfield, and he's got the first down. Foxcroft had their eyes on everybody except their quarterback, who had a massive seam to break through. And a risky play, but one they had to make on 4th and 9 yields a fresh set of downs for the Greyhounds.
16-yard gain by Fitzsimmons. Great play that time, and shows what an athlete he is, that run to the outside there.
Jimmy Fitzsimmons, junior quarterback. Yeah, you got one more year of him after this. Right now in the immediate future, 1st and 10 from the 11. And a handoff right through the middle. This play still not dead.
Carried by number 11, Colby Levasseur.
It's Levasseur again, the fullback, just dishing out punishment, getting some help from the line, pushing forward.
Picks up 5 in the play, brings up 2nd down.
So you got 2nd down and 5 from the 6-yard line. Yet again, just like their previous trip down on the other end of the field, they can get a first down without scoring. But it's a minuscule difference.
Touchdown here is really going to put the pressure on the Ponies.
Yes, it will. A Ponies team that has turned the ball over 3 times tonight. It is to Josh Carter. On the far side, and that toss will yield a couple. So 3rd down and as close to goal as you can get, just about. They need 2.5 yards for a first.
He's probably close to, if not just over 100 yards rushing tonight. He's done a great job for the Greyhounds.
Maybe making a case for our Bangor Savings Bank Player of the Game. We will hand that out during our Bangor Savings postgame show, but that seems to be a long way off. Handoff through the middle. Good surge by the Foxcroft defense, and I don't know if that's going to be enough for a first down. It's going to come down to wherever the spot is. And maybe a measurement, though they seem to be a good football short around the 2. So now the Foxcroft defense has to come up with another big stop. And Lisbon is going to take their first time out here of the second half. We'll keep it right here with a big play brewing here for the Lisbon Greyhounds, Chris. Again, we kind of throw back to week 1 with the Ponies. They give up the touchdown in overtime, but the goal line stand stops the 2-point conversion. Same thing happened down on the other end of the field facing the scoreboard in the last quarter. And this is about as close to that same situation as you can get.
Yeah, see what they draw up. They've just done such a great job of blocking and scheming their run game tonight. And like I said, Josh Carter, it's got to be over 100 yards. Maybe have a couple of those stats after we finish up tonight. But him and Levasseur, they've done a great job in the backfield.
Yeah, where someone like Cam Chase might have had, like 3 carries for a bajillion yards. Carter's got at least that many on what feels like, 35 carries. The way they have just pushed against this Foxcroft defensive line. Lisbon does have the extra out here of getting a first down without scoring, but again, it is nearly impossible to run another play from this possession. 4th down and 1 from about the 2-yard line. Fitzsimmons under center. And Levasseur, there's a fist pump from Fitzsimmons and the arms in the air from the side. It's a touchdown through the middle, and that is literally an entire offensive line pushing Foxcroft back into the end zone to clear the way for Colby Levasseur. And Lisbon has their first lead of the night. It comes with 7:39 to go in the 4th. And now an all-important 2-point conversion here, Chris.
Yes, this is very important. Very, very important, because on the other side, Foxcroft has a guy that can kick extra points as well. So you want to try to extend it out to a 7-point lead here with 7:39 left.
Well, they go to the shotgun, and it's Fitzsimmons through the middle for the 2-point conversion. And with 7:39 to go, the Lisbon Greyhounds have turned this game on its head. Lisbon 14, Foxcroft Academy 7. The final act continues right here with more high school football on Eastern Maine Sports.
I truly believe that if you're going to do something better, you got to start by innovating. Think about how to solve for a customer problem in a way that's quicker, different, and more customer-centric. The bank's promise has been fundamentally the same from the beginning till now, and that's ensuring that all that we do is making the lives of our employees, our customers, and the communities better. And it's their better, not what's defined as our better.
Welcome back to Oaks Field, and what a tangled web we weave here. 14-7, the Lisbon Greyhounds get the 2-point conversion and lead the Foxcroft Academy Ponies. Remember, Foxcroft scored on 2 plays in their first possession after Lisbon took 9 of the 20 minutes or so that they would hold the football in the first half. And that's all Lisbon has done tonight. They have run the football. They have run it effectively. There have been, I believe, 2 pass attempts from quarterback Jimmy Fitzsimmons. And now, where all these kickoffs have gone out of bounds, this one goes deep into the end zone for a touchback. And the Lisbon Greyhounds go on defense, trying to stop Foxcroft from going 80 yards to try and tie or maybe steal this game back. There have been a lot of close games around the state. This one getting started at 6:30, so it'll be one of the first ones to end. Not the first game, of course. The Dexter and Valley game Started at about 3 o'clock today. That one handily in favor of the Dexter Tigers. They've got the second longest win streak in the state at 8 games. The current longest is in jeopardy right now as Cameron Chase will run to the far side. And he got about 9 yards, trying to help Foxcroft Academy preserve a 13-game win streak that goes back to last year.
That was only the 5th offensive play this half for the Ponies.
My gosh, yeah, right, because of the interception the interception and the fumble. Yeah, 2 turnovers already. Rayfield with the hard count, trying to draw the defense off. And that little hesitation gave him enough time to hit Marsters as he's thrown down out of bounds. More than enough for a first down. From the 29, they get up to the 30.
34.
It looks like the
31.
31.
Okay. That looked closer to the 35 to me, but
I mean, I'm sure he was dragged out of bounds at the 31. Probably a little bit more forward at some point, but okay. A gain of 2 yards. That looked like a lot more, but hey, they'll take it. It's a new set of downs for the Ponies. 1st and 10 from the 31. And it's Chase cutting upfield. And he was trying to follow the block of Hunter McSorley. He gave him enough to get about 5 yards, maybe 6 on that play. So 2nd down and 4 from the 37. This Foxcroft offense has not really had a chance to get any rhythm going. Even the drive where they scored points, they did it in 2 plays. But Rayfield's pass is complete over on the far side. And Smith coming back over the middle, trying to get around traffic. Dragged down eventually at the 47-yard line. 3 yards short of midfield, and Foxcroft Academy has the ball going the right way. There's Jackson Smith with that reception.
He's another one of those great athletes with the Ponies, two-way player. Of course, high school, you get a lot of two-way players.
Yeah. Especially when we get down to some of the smaller schools, but plenty of numbers on this sideline for FA. It is Cam Chase again, across midfield, across the 45. And very close to another first down. From that, they're going to take a timeout to measure this, it looks like. So this will be our first measurement of the night.
It's 5:08 remaining, and Ponies on the move.
This is a big break for Foxcroft Academy either way, because you effectively get a timeout out of this. Otherwise, the clock would be moving, as you mentioned, with 5:08 to go. And this measurement, it looked well short. And
he is short by a full yard.
Yeah.
Just shy of a first down. Be 2nd down and about a half yard to the Ponies.
And Foxcroft was ready to run back up to the line and get set. And it's like, no, y'all got a break. It's fine.
Not sure what they're doing. If they're going to measure again, John, or
I think they're going to place the ball exactly where it should be, which is probably a few lengths, maybe a couple lengths short of the first down marker. And that's where it's going to be very important. Make sure they have the right spot. 5:08, and the clock will start running again. It'll tip inside 5 minutes before Foxcroft gets this snap off. 2nd down and less than a yard. And Rayfield's going to throw. And he's got a man wide open. And broke 1 tackle before finally being dragged down out of bounds. So where Lisbon's done it on the ground, Foxcroft has found ways to do it through the air. Not deterred by the interception at all. And it's hard to be worried about the D-backs when they're just nowhere in sight.
Boy, when you need some big plays, though, Jackson Smith on this drive has come up with a couple nice ones here for the Ponies.
He has been money. Back in the gun. I think Rayfield might just throw until they stop him. Of course, if Lisbon does, it could be costly. But another wide open. And Smith dancing around, still on his feet, down to the pylon, and stopped just short.
We just said his name. He's third reception on this drive.
This may arguably be the worst thing that could have happened for Foxcroft, because now there's not nearly as much open space right inside the one, it looks like. But now you maybe rely on Cam Chase to punch one in. First and goal from the 1. 4.5. The clock stopped at 4:36. And it is Chase. Had to move to his left first. And near the goal line, but not in.
Stop just short. Yeah, but Smith, 54 receiving yards on this drive with the 3 catches and nearly taking the last one to the house.
So Cameron Chase had to take a few steps back to try and find some daylight, but unable to hit the end zone on first down. Go down to 4 minutes now. A 7-point lead for the Greyhounds.
We are in for a photo finish here in Dover Foxcroft tonight, Sean.
Everything we hoped this game would be. Rayfield's going to keep it himself, and he's into the end zone on the quarterback draw. 3:45 remains as Wyatt Rayfield punches one in from a yard out, and now everything rests on the foot of Kemsley Marsters. Rayfield will hold, and Marsters will presumably, barring some trickery, kick to try and tie this game. And flags are thrown, and a whistle was blown before the kick. So the kick is going to be inconsequential. The flag came out before the snap, and we heard whistles. And I have to imagine there's something against Lisbon just by the look of things. Offside. Encroachment by the Greyhounds. So it'll move the ball half the distance to the goal line. Now, a lot of times we see this, and teams will, well, we're a yard closer. We'll try and go for 2, but yeah, you can't just decline this one. I think that's what they're kind of asking. But they are going to change personnel here.
Oh, wow, they're going to go for 2. Looks like.
Well, this is the same mistake I think Winthrop made in overtime in week 1. You go for the tie at home, you go for the win on the road. Foxcroft is at home. They're going to go for the win here, or at least the lead, with, again, 3:45 remaining. The kick was good, but again, inconsequential because the play was blown dead before the kick with the offsides penalty.
I am not sure. They're just kind of standing and talking to Rayfield over here. I'm not sure if they are going to go for this.
They're going to take a timeout.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lengthy discussion going on at the sideline, and yes, there is a play clock on the extra points, so they eventually do call a timeout. We'll keep it right here with high drama brewing at Oaks Field. Foxcroft Academy 1 point away from tying this game. They seem to be lining up for 2. Marsters is way back at the end of the bench, about to rejoin the huddle. This game started with a 2-play drive that went 76 yards and gave Foxcroft a 7-0 lead. They would hold into halftime despite only having about 4 minutes of offense in that first half. Lisbon got close a couple of times and finally put one into the end zone in the third quarter. Could not convert the 2 points, but they scored again here in the fourth. And the quarterback, Fitzsimmons, scampered into the end zone for the 2. That explains the 14-13 lead now for the Greyhounds. That itself is in jeopardy as Foxcroft Academy attempts to maybe turn the hourglass over and take a 1-point lead.
Yeah, they still are going to line up and
go
for 2.
After the penalty moved them half the distance to the goal closer, they will try from the gun, Rayfield.
Watch for a draw here.
And it's Chase, who is not going to get around the end. He's wrapped up. He dropped the football trying to get it to a teammate in desperation, but the play is dead, and Foxcroft Academy comes up short. Keep in mind, the kick was good before the offside penalty. The play was blown dead due to the encroachment. They opted to, instead of have Marsters kick again, they went for 2, a little bit closer, and were denied. 3:45 to go. Lisbon by 1. We'll be back with the rest of the fourth quarter. You're watching high school football on Eastern Maine Sports.
To Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing your vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
Welcome back to Oaksfield. Sean Stackhouse alongside Chris Lesnar watching a beauty here at Foxcroft Academy. The Lisbon Greyhounds have held on a 14-13 lead with 3:45 remaining in the fourth quarter.
This would be quite interesting on this kickoff, as we were just talking about during commercial. Is, the way the Lisbon's run the ball tonight, Foxcroft might not get the ball back if they do go ahead and kick this off deep.
Lisbon has taken massive chunks of time off the clock with seemingly every single one of their possessions except one.
I don't know if we'll see it, but watch for something surprising here on this kickoff.
That could be a squib or an onside kick. It doesn't really matter where this ball ends up. If Lisbon ends up with it, you got 2 timeouts to work with if you're Foxcroft Academy, after they took one before that. And this will bounce out of bounds. And I imagine Lisbon will just take it right at the 45 and go to work.
Did look like they were setting up some sort of little trick play on that kickoff, something short, squib there, but unfortunately for them, it went out of bounds.
There have not been many penalties. I mean, that one officially counts as a penalty against Foxcroft Academy, but you have to imagine Danny White, the coach of the Ponies, would be happier perhaps with the discipline of his team than in week 1. Game was very sloppy with that overtime win at Winthrop, and he said in a post-game interview that he'd like to see a lot cleaned up, and that'd be a point of emphasis for his team. Certainly has cleaned up over the last couple of weeks, but they find themselves trailing. With 3:45, they got to come up with a stop with 2 timeouts to work with. They burned one, making the decision to go for 2, that ultimately came up empty.
You got to step up big defensively here if you're Foxcroft. Lisbon's been really running the ball all night.
Hunter McSorley has been awesome on the defensive line. They go right up the middle with Colby Lavasser. And a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. He got from Lisbon's 49 up to maybe the Foxcroft 47. I almost said the 52-yard line, but no, it's the 48-yard line across midfield. So a 3-yard gain brings up second and about 6 3/4. That specific enough for you, Chris?
That's pretty precise there, Sean. I'm impressed.
Well, every inch has mattered. We've seen a couple of measurements, a couple of close calls. Waiting for the countdown by the back judge, and now the snap, and a good surge. And Lavasser's got him a few yards closer.
3-yard line brings up a 3rd down and 2.
Another first down is not quite ball game, but it's getting real close. 2.5 on a moving clock with the ball at the 43.
I can't remember if Foxcroft has 1 timeout or 2.
They should have 2. I think they only used the 1 on the
when they
extra
were on
point
defense.
decision.
Yep. They used one earlier, I think, in the half, maybe when, or maybe that was.
No, that was Lisbon used one.
Oh, okay.
On the drive down to our left.
Good stop.
Wouldn't be
there.
the first time I'd be wrong, but this goes right at the middle and is not enough for a first down. So the Foxcroft defense has come up big. Clock's going to go inside 2. And they will not use the timeout. So they've got 2 left. Oh, now maybe they will.
Yep, timeout Foxcroft.
Yeah, they have called it with 1:48 remaining. 4th down and 2 for the Lisbon Greyhounds. And at this point now, with Foxcroft using its 2nd time out of the half, 4th down and ball game for the Ponies defense. So we keep it right here with Lisbon holding the very brittle 1-point lead.
One final, and I know I touched on the score a couple times. One final we have in tonight from Andrew Hart. Massabesic defeats Marshwood 34-6 tonight. So big win for Massabesic. Sorry, say that fast 3 times.
Big win for Massabesic. This will play at Ronco Field.
I'm not even sure of that. I don't even know where Massabesic is, to be honest with you. Waterboro, I was just told. Mark Kalman with that. Yep, good. I didn't know that.
Oh, no, Marshwood is, I thought they were Elliott. Yeah.
So Southern Maine, right?
Yeah.
Southern Maine.
South of the Brunswick border, as we call it here in Maine.
Anything south of Augusta and Waterville is south for me anyways. So.
North Boston. All right, here we go. 4th down and 2 as Oaks Field comes to life. 4th and 2 from the 43-yard line. Lisbon 2 yards away from getting to 500 on the season, right in the heart of a murderer's row of a schedule. This would be a huge, huge win for them if they can convert here.
I don't know.
Yeah, the message being to watch the ball, and Lisbon's going to burn a timeout.
Yeah,
they tried to get the defense to jump, and a little bit of excitement, maybe just letting out some excess energy from the Foxcroft defensive line, as they did not give them the free 5 yards. So Lisbon will take, I believe, its 2nd timeout. And again, 1:52. There is nothing left from here. I want to remind you to stay tuned after the game for our Bangor Savings Bank post-game show. We'll give out our Bangor Savings Player of the Game. And at this point, we have plenty of options. Imagine maybe Josh Carter from Lisbon would certainly be a fine candidate after his impressive performance. Colby Lavasser trying to get them there down the stretch.
Fourth down and 2 for the Greyhounds from the 43-yard line of Foxcroft Academy.
Cam Chase might be the leading candidate for Foxcroft Academy if they can find a way to come back. Down 1 with 2 yards to their life. Fitzsimmons back under center. No hard count this time. It's Carter hit behind the line. But did he surge forward enough?
I think he did.
Looking at the far side, maybe not.
Well, that's going to be real close.
Looking at the side judge on the far side, they've already stopped the clock at 1:46. And looking at the football right now, it does not look like they have it. And apparently enough that they didn't need a measurement. I would think, look, if they measured on the last one, you would think they would measure on this one just to be sure. But it seems like the ball is firmly on the wrong side of the hash. And so indeed, Foxcroft Academy gets the stop they needed with 1 timeout left and 1:46 to work with.
Goes back to something else I talked about before the game, something we talked about on the pregame show. Marsters, kicker. So this could come down to something like that.
Well, now the extra pressure on the defensive backfield of Lisbon as the catch is made by Jaden Richard. He had the touchdown. He's immediately hit and dragged down. And the clock stops at 1:34 before resuming when they set the chains. So I don't know what we're waiting on. I don't know why the clock would be stopped if he didn't have a first down. Oh, boy.
They started at the 43, though, and they only got to the 48. That's 9 yards with quick math. But they gave him the first down.
I think they started around the 42. I think it was just across the 42. So it looks like they gave him just 10, and it's enough. Clock down inside a minute 30. And Rayfield's pass is complete. And Smith breaks away. Broke a couple of tackles before finally being brought down across the 35. And the clock will stop at 1:20. No question here that it's enough for a first down. Now the ball is set. The clock runs. 1:16, 1:15. Rayfield again in the gun. He's avoided the turnover to this point, and on the sideline, I believe it was Lucas Sands. Lucas Sands falling out of bounds just across the 25. And now the question is, it's second or first, and it will be a 9.5-yard gain. But more importantly, the clock stops at $1:05.
Clock stop with 1:05 to play in the fourth quarter.
Only the 1 timeout remaining for the Ponies. At least if I'm able to count. Second down at about a yard from the 25. The chase to his right. Rayfield will take the snap. He ends up getting sacked. He looked to his left where it's been wide open every other play. But this time, excellent coverage from Adam Hayes, the junior, on the far side. And the clock continues to run after the sack. Only 1 timeout remains. Big third down here. Rayfield ran out of time, but he shook one tackler off. And the pass is incomplete. No flags. So fourth down with the clock stopped at 32.8.
Third down coming up. Yeah, 3rd and 15 now.
Well, no, it's got to be fourth down. You had the pass to the sideline. That was a gain of 9. You had 2nd and 1 where Rayfield got sacked. You had the incomplete pass here. So it should absolutely be fourth down.
Yeah, it is. I see the yard marker on the other side.
Yeah,
fourth down. Yep, you're right. I had it 3rd on the scoreboard. That's what I was looking at. But you're absolutely right. And, boy, yeah, a kick from here would be 47 yards. Even that might be out of Marster's range. What are we going to get here?
And the officials will stop play. And they're going to talk about this. Maybe they're going to talk about what down it is. Again, you had that play down by the sideline where Sands made the catch. They ruled him short of the first there as he fell out of bounds. And so you had 2nd down and less than a yard. And everything will stay as fourth down. So here we go again. Now it's Foxcroft turn to face fourth down in ball game with 32.8 remaining. The clock is stopped after the incompletion. And they can't really take a timeout to they can't take a timeout to talk about the play because they need one in case this ends in play. A lot of pressure on this young man's shoulders. Wyatt Rayfield scrambling, being chased. And that will do it. He had to get rid of the football under immense pressure, being chased to the sideline. And Lisbon is going to walk into hostile territory after a long, long bus ride and come up with one of the guttier wins we've seen from a visiting team on this field in a hot minute.
What a huge win for Lisbon. And, you know, one of the players we've been talking about all night, Josh Carter, I think we're going to, if you agree, Sean, I think we're going to go ahead and give the player of the game to Josh Carter, the senior running back.
I have no objection to that. He was phenomenal. As the kneel down there will put an end to this one. The Lisbon Greyhounds hold the football for what felt like 3 whole quarters of action, and the game plan works to perfection. The final score is going to be Lisbon 14, Foxcroft Academy 13. And when we come back, we'll have the Bangor Savings postgame show where we'll hand out our Player of the Game awards, and we'll wrap things up here from Oaks Field.
I truly believe that if you're going to do something better, you got to start by innovating. Think about how to solve for a customer problem in a way that's quicker, different, and more customer-centric. The bank's promise has been fundamentally the same from the beginning till now, and that's ensuring that all that we do is making the lives of our employees, our customers, and the communities better. And it's their better, not what's defined as our better.
Well, welcome back to Oaks Field here at Foxcroft Academy. Sean Stackhouse alongside Chris Lessner and Mark Kalman with Eastern Maine Sports, as the cleanup is happening right now in the press box after an impressive 14-13 win for the Lisbon Greyhounds, who came in, I think it's safe to say, Chris, expected to be underdogs in this game, and all they did was punch Foxcroft's D-line right in the mouth and keep pushing them back and pushing them back. And Foxcroft answered the bell time and time again, but it just wasn't enough in the end as Lisbon comes through in the fourth quarter. They get the touchdown, they get the 2, and it's just barely enough to hang on and get a big road win for the Greyhounds.
They executed a fantastic game plan coming in here tonight, and congratulations to Josh Carter, the senior tailback for Lisbon. He's been named our Bangor Savings Bank Player of the Game. 23 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
He only had 91. It felt like he had so many more, as, again, just big chunk of yardage after big chunk of yardage for Carter, the senior for the Greyhounds. And, you know, you got to talk about as well the play of the quarterback, Fitzsimmons, who didn't run the ball a lot, but when he did, was incredibly effective. And what more can you say about a quarterback than he managed the game well, and just this combination of the line, of course, but you had Fitzsimmons at quarterback, you had Colby Levasseur, the fullback, and Josh Carter really putting a lot of pressure on their shoulders and delivering in the clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I can't emphasize enough how well the game plan was executed. Fitzsimmons did just enough, and the tailback combination of Levasseur and our player of the game, Josh Carter.
Yep,
they were phenomenal tonight.
They absolutely were. Of course, Jaden Richard and Jackson Smith, the receiver combo, a very dynamic duo on the Foxcroft side. They did what they could, and Rayfield hit them time and again. They gave Foxcroft a chance moving the ball through the air, but turnovers kind of undid things for the Ponies,
Yeah, and the number of plays,
and
too.
very untimely. And of course, yes, I mean, you can overcome 3 turnovers in a high school football game in Maine if you have the football for more than what felt like maybe 12 minutes in the game. It was an excellent game plan for the Greyhounds, who come into Oaks Field and they end the state's longest active win streak, as the Ponies go from plus 13 to
Minus
-1. And now the Dexter Tigers, with their 8-win streak extended earlier today with the win over St. Johns Valley, have that honor as having the longest active win streak in the state. So it goes from Foxcroft Academy just down the road to Dexter High School. So that will pretty much wrap things up from here. Any final thoughts, Mr. Lesnar, as we watch, kind of almost like a stunned Foxcroft crowd make their way out, and a very jubilant Lisbon fan base over across the way, a well-traveled fan base, given the distance.
Well, I mean, we didn't have a real season in 2020. So for these Foxcroft fans, this is the first loss they've seen since 2019. It's a little bit of a shock for sure.
Well, it was certainly a shock, but it was a lot of fun bringing this game to you, and we've got plenty more between soccer, field hockey, and football action from this area coming your way here on Eastern Maine Sports. The final score for the final time: Lisbon Greyhounds 14, Foxcroft Academy Ponies 13, a fitting number as their 13-game win streak comes to a close. For Chris Lesnar and Mark Callan and all of us here at Eastern Maine Sports, Sean Stackhouse signing off. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time right here